Hi there, and thanks for tuning into this week's edition of your Wheel and Anchor weekly newsletter. Here we are in the middle of August, and it seems like summer is almost over as the days get shorter, the nights get a little bit cooler. And personally, I think this is some of the best part of the summertime here in Canada. Those cool nights when you sleep so well are often welcome. At the same time, it also means that before too long, the leaves are going to be changing. Fall will be upon us. But for us travelers at Wheel and Anchor, it also means it's the beginning of the traveling season again. And in a couple of short weeks, we will be saying bon voyage to some of our members who are headed off on our trips to the islands of Greece and along the Turkish Mediterranean, as well as to Japan, Korea, Taiwan, also to Croatia as we run every October. So lots of excitement in store. And so I kind of look forward because in a couple of weeks' time, I too will be saying farewell to Canada for this year and heading off to Europe to do a little more reconnaissance on some things that we're working on for the latter part of next year. So a whole bunch of new webinars coming up. Do have a look at Greece and Japan for next year. We're going to be running 2 of each of those programs next spring and in the late part of the summer, early fall. So if you missed out this year, we're going to be returning to those destinations. And I've also just put the finishing touches on what I'm calling my Austrian book tour, which is a program that follows in many of the steps I took when I put together my book, The Heart of Hospitality. Some of you may have seen it or received a copy if you've been on one of our trips over the last year and a half. We've sent out some copies to that, and so the book takes a look into the origins and the reasons behind the legendary hospitality that they have on offer in Austria. And so next May, we're going to be actually exploring that in a little bit more depth on a trip that I'm hosting personally, which is going to take us all across some of the nooks and crannies of that little country, little alpine country in Europe that many people are not as familiar with as they could be. So we'll be releasing that program in a couple of weeks' time. Stay tuned for that. So I will say adieu for this week from here again in the beautiful Canadian Shield in Central Ontario. And I look forward to catching up with you again in next week's newsletter.